think we're live. Waiting first to like, let's go. Thank you for liking. Hello there.
Hey,
We
yo.
are like 3 seconds before the top of the hour. Awesome. I don't even remember what I titled this, to be honest, so let's look at my phone and see what, since I'm too scared to open Chrome right now. I threw some topics on here that I had in the top of my mind this morning when I scheduled it, but then I completely forgot. What did I title this?
You titled it The Ranting Hour with Inkwelder number 6. Aranea, Solos, Loop Plus, and more.
Oh, okay. Well, hello everyone. This is the unofficial ranting hour where me and Inkwelder tend to rant, usually for more than an hour, bringing some random topics, but there's no structure here. Whatever we talk about ends up being what we talk about. Mino might pull up, Necklord might pull up. I don't know what's going on here. Again, no plans. And my OBS has the propensity to crash today. So, yeah, we'll figure out where that's going. I see Amir. What up, Amir? After seeing Maria LD, she's much better than I thought. Same. I know Ink wanted to talk about Aranea specifically, and I had some. Did I have some thoughts on her? I think I did, but I forgot them already. Today's been a long day at work, so Ink, you can kick it off, and I can bounce off of you.
Oh, you want me to kick it off? All right.
Yeah, sure.
We can talk.
I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm also cooking.
Oh, okay.
So. Oh no, that's right.
Yeah.
First things first. We gotta know what are you eating today? Forgot to ask that last time.
Boneless wings and tater tots.
Boneless.
But boneless, yeah. The boneless ones are good because if you get if you get the wings, I don't know, they're pretty small, and if you get the boneless wings, I don't know, it might be that I want as much food as possible. So ordering 4 boneless wings is like way more food than like 15 to 20 actual wings. So I'm more just making sure to cover the calories that I'm looking to ingest.
I see. Have you heard the boneless wings are just chicken nuggets argument?
I mean, I would argue that these are like 3 or 4 times. No, they're way bigger than chicken nuggets. But
what did you make? You can make big chicken nuggets though.
That's called a chicken tender.
Wait, what's a chicken? So what? So then you have a chicken, you have a boneless wing, you have a chicken nugget, and you have a chicken tender. What differentiates them all?
It's the size and the shape, of course. Thankfully we don't have to worry about texture. It's all chicken. But you also have the patty, the chicken patty you have to be aware of. Those have like a height maximum, I guess.
They do?
Whereas
oh my god.
Tenders don't. Tenders, tenders are more like a required volume, I think. I don't know. I'm not a chicken farmer, so
I can tell.
I wanted to Hey, what the fuck? You don't know that. You don't know me.
Okay, yeah, go off. Do your thing.
No, I was gonna get a coop and get chickens, but we got a dog instead, and we think that dog may attack the chickens if we got them, so we're doing one animal at a time.
Drez said a nugget is minced chicken, not a full piece of chicken. Oh, but then what do they do to make it? So is the boneless wing not minced?
What?
I don't know. It's combining nuggets is basically a chicken ingot. Oh my god, okay. TRW, you're banned for that one. You're banned. Out of here! Oh my, I hated to read that. Hungry now? Yeah, I'm cooking chicken. I got the Old Bay seasoning with the salt. Ah, no, I forgot to put the minced garlic on it. Ah!
Yeah,
I forgot the minced garlic.
Where it's
but
at.
I threw some portobello mushrooms. Man, chat, if y'all don't cook, y'all need to learn how to cook. Like this is just a basic human skill. Like if you're trying to attract, let me not make assumptions. If you're trying to attract someone you want to be attracted to, cooking is always the way. It is always the way. Just knowing you're competent enough to get some food to put some stuff in the oven together and some basic seasonings and then make it taste decent, everyone will love you. Like it's such an underrated thing apparently. I don't know why so many people just don't know how to cook when it's quite literally the easiest thing in the world. Plus you save so much money, take out costs and ass tonnage. Usually not nearly as good, especially now with being takeout being a huge thing because of the lockdowns. You're getting your food cold, like nothing like fresh out the oven food. Y'all gotta learn to cook, bro. Like that's underrated. It gets you healthy too. Control your calories and all that. Just Pikachu, I just came by to get banned. You get banned every time you comment. Cooking some pasta.
And
Go ahead.
Pikachu made some sort of he said or Pikachu, whoever they are, said when I made a comment that I was pulling Aranea just because of the infographic. I did not miss your comment, Pikachu, where you said I hope the Edward infographic doesn't look too good. I don't care what Dreamy would have to put FF6 characters all over the Edward infographic to make me even look at the Edward infographic.
Next thing you're telling me making boneless chicken wings plus. Oh my god, we just can't talk about nuggets on the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia crowd, can we? The jokes have to be made.
Yeah, cooking is definitely a very reasonable skill to have, and a lot of it is super easy.
You
can go to
mandatory.
You can go to Costco, get like a salmon that's already skinned. You literally remove it from the casing, put it in the oven for 10 minutes, and then you could put like lemon, if you want to go lemon route, like you put lemon with some seasoning on it, and you could literally heat up a bag of vegetables that you get from the supermarket in the microwave, like a steam bag. You all of a sudden have a perfectly good meal that is healthy and reasonable for you. And people would generally be like, oh man, you made this because you made friggin' salmon. Most people don't know how to even make it. You also could just mix a few things together and marinate the salmon. And it's literally the easiest recipe. It takes like 15 to 20 minutes to prep, which is way less than takeout.
Thank you. Cooking, deadlifts, and drinking water are the secret success to life. Put that in the bank.
They all three of them equally attract people you want to be around.
yes, especially the deadlifts.
For sure.
Okay. I think we talked enough about chicken nuggets. Drez suggested to watch Chicken Slurry. I suggest everyone to not do that. And also, Drez, you're banned. Pull it for Aranea because I'm used to making bad decisions in life. Hell yeah. I'm just pulling Aranea, that's it. My icon is Trey Rags. Alright, glad someone recognized it. I can't change my Discord icon to anyone of African American descent and say, oh, you finally changed your picture. I saw it at least 10 times. Shit's corny, bro. Deadlift's the pole that doesn't waste your jumps. Speaking of nuggets, okay, I guess this is a food stream. What's your favorite sauce? Hot sauce. I fit the stereotype. Ink, what's your favorite sauce?
So generally, it depends if you want a wet sauce or dry. Because if you don't want your stuff to get too soggy, you just go with a lemon pepper salt that you sprinkle on that. That actually makes nuggets taste real damn good and doesn't require a sauce. Otherwise, I generally go barbecue sauce, but I'm all for hot sauce, but generally, specifically Tapatio hot sauce.
Sounds tasty. Okay, transitioning slowly away from the Daniel with the super chat. See, a lot of people disagree with the no vanille sphere on Aranea. Ink, can you expand to what that was on the graphic? Okay, one sec. I'll give Ink a second answer to that. But Drez asked, do you use sumo or conventional? I think sumo is alternating grip. I always alternate grip. It always feels good, and it makes me feel cool. All right, you want to? I didn't look at the infographic. I usually don't because I know the stuff already. But Ink, you want to elaborate on the no vanille sphere thing?
Yeah, I mean, it was on our website. We don't put the sphere stuff on the infographic itself. First, thank you, Daniel, for actually going to our website and reading. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the super chat again.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what doesn't make sense is that you're basically saying, oh, well, I want to dedicate a sphere slot. You're giving a character a sphere, meaning that they are a favorite. You're giving her a full sphere. You're not giving her a refined sphere or anything like that. You're giving her a full sphere. You're saying, I would rather her be able to remove a buff from enemies than actually boost her stats. So the problem with it is that if you actually have a situation where buff removal is a required activity, you are probably going to bring somebody else. You might bring Aerith and stop the buffs from even happening in the first place. You might bring Arciella, who can dispel them, or Beatrix. Like, you've got, or Cloud. Yeah, or Balthier. You've got so many powerful dispellers, and dispel isn't that important. If you actually look over the Balthier webpage, there aren't that many fights where it was like a required activity, because we actually broke out fights there. We're actually at the 2-month window, so I didn't go too much past Eldnarsh Lost Chapter. That was like the last one we called out, where like, hey, Balthier is going to be great for Eldnarsh, and I'm pretty sure he was. But yeah, I don't know, BC, how many fights upcoming can you remember where you specifically, I know you love Aerith and you've used her a lot, like where you specifically brought Aerith to stop buffs, and that was like a near required activity? How often was that?
So the half serious answer is that, wow, I don't even know if they were buffing because I was running Aerith. But I don't, yeah, so I don't, they might have been buffing, and if I had Aerith on the team, I just never saw it. I can't think of a single time I brought Aerith to stop bosses from buffing. Not a one. Now, that does not mean it's not there, because I also forgot the Eldnarsh boss is buffed, but it's also because I used Aerith there. But, I don't remember any boss buffs. Well, the only really recent one I remember is, actually Garnet's, Intertwined Wills thing, where the 3 antlions, they had a really nasty like bravery gen buff, and I brought Beatrix to dispel that. Other than that, I can't really think of a single time, because we haven't had Balthier. Vanille just got a LD as well. It was like Arciella and Beatrix as the dispellers. Cloud kinda. Who else dispels that has an LD? Sid Reigns, I guess.
He dispels?
He dispels, and Esna's the party on his EX. For some reason. No, it's more in lore with the 13 boss.
Does he also serve up Chocobo chicken nuggets or Chocobo nuggets? Because that
turns
just
the bosses
seems really
Chocobo
random.
Nuggets. No, it's actually. Did you play 13 at all?
I mean, I played base 13. I didn't play. Yeah, I finished.
Okay, well, you might not remember Reigns' fight, but his whole thing was he went into, when he like started flying around and beating your ass and stuff, he actually dispelled all your buffs and got rid of his debuffs.
Yeah, I did not even remember him after playing 13.
I had to get that pointed out to me.
Yeah,
so it's not completely random, but yeah, I'm totally with Ink on this one, especially. I've been against the Vanille Spear meme for a while now. The amount of times it's actually been useful, compared to the amount of times you could have just brought a dedicated dispeller. It's really, I don't know. I mean, it's cool for the one-offs, I guess, maybe, but it's really, usually the buffs the bosses do are usually invisible now, because the devs realize, like, us taking those buffs and stuff can kind of break stuff. So they just don't generally let us do it. I'm not looking at chat at all. I'm putting my dishes away.
I prefer to have my Vanille Spear on Gao. It's not because so I love FF6, obviously. I have full Spear all my FF6 characters, but I chose to give Gao Vanille Spear over an Attack Spear, which is one that he definitely would use and get benefit out of. Specifically because I wanted to use him in not Beatrix. What's Arciella's Lufenia? Even though I had Arciella, Gao made it trivially easy because he was just removing one buff at a time. I could have used Cloud. I could have used Balthier. There were plenty of options. But if someone's your favorite and you're giving them spheres, you generally want to boost their stats.
Yeah.
If you're trying to give, like I could see giving someone like I don't know, maybe Ramza, like Sayador's Sphere, because you're like, hey, I really want Ramza to have more healing in his kit to compensate. Like, I could see you doing that where you add a role to like boost up someone's, like, hey, Ramza's not an amazing healer. He's good, he's okay, but not great. That would definitely help him. to heal more. Like I could see that.
And my Ramza has Rosa Sphere.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because who would purple Sayador? But to give you an idea, I have so I recently completed a bunch of characters because I basically pulled till they're LD and then realized, all right, I don't really feel like maxing them right now, and I don't need them for their own event. I don't need them right now, so I just got the LD and I pieced out. And I was like, okay, I'll probably get their stuff free from some banners coming up. So I managed to get Rude ZX and Jack ZX from all these free anniversary pulls. I have Sayador's LD that I got for free, and I'm still pulling the Type 0 side of things because I'm like, I really want Trey ZX in case I don't get it when I get his LD. I'm ticketing Trey's LD, and I still would rather get Trey ZX than bother completing Sayador's kit.
Yeah, especially if you go after Agrius later on.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Sayador's there.
I'm definitely pulling Agrius.
Yeah. So that's a good
Hell yeah. And see, part of this drives me nuts that I really like certain characters, and I've maxed them when they come out, and then they come back and they're meta, and I'm super excited for that. But then everyone else is going to pull them because they're meta or really strong. They're like, oh yeah, this is great. That pisses me off because I just like my favorites.
Is that coming with, I think we talked about this earlier, but it's happened with you with Terra, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like I maxed my Terra. I gave her the best possible spheres that overlapped her. I had to get an ingot bundle to get more removal spheres so that I didn't lose spheres. But yeah, Terra's awesome. I finished her analysis this morning. She's epic, and it's just because I really enjoy the character, and I'm very excited to build around her. Also excited to use her with Celeste. So there's just so many possibilities with her. But that aside, if for your favorites, I would not give anybody Vanille Sphere unless you are specifically doing it to counter a specific case. I prefer it on counter characters just because they're going to counter right away and probably break the enemy and remove the buff on the spot. You don't need to wait for their turn to get it. So that said, Aranea can make perfectly good use of it. It's not a bad pairing on her. It just feels like you're not doing everything you can for one of your favorite characters.
Drez asks if we get the whale pass. No, I don't think it does.
No, I don't.
We just get the basic one.
No, I didn't even refresh my mod pass because most of my artifacts are done. There's no divine board right now, and I have 140,000 character points. So there isn't a lot of reason for me to get the basic mod pass until the next divine, which is what? I don't even know. I haven't been paying attention.
Month and a half now, because they're every 2 months or every other
Yeah,
month.
I know.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I just didn't remember.
Oh, which one? It's Alex with Golbez.
Oh wow!
Nobody remembers that one because everybody cheesed it.
Yeah, that run that the JP player did to get maxed out summon damage, that was pretty cool. I don't know how it ended though, because isn't it an infinite loop? So,
it requires a dodge. That's how you get out of the loop. I think it requires Yuna to dodge specifically.
No, but so the setup that they did was they used Cater's call on Beatrix, so that Beatrix had 100% or 90% dodge. Is it? I don't think it's 100, right?
I think it's 100.
Okay, so Beatrix was dodging all the attacks. Beatrix, whenever there's an attack against the party with her LD board, she counters like Gao.
Yep.
And 8 was in the party, and 8 is obviously going to dodge everything that goes at him. And Beatrix batteries after she attacks as well. So she kept capping the team's Brave, and basically Alexander, because the team's Brave was completely topped off, kept countering, would hit Yuna, but miss 8 and miss Beatrix, who would then counter. And they ended up getting, was it 99 million?
I think so. I think that loop required Yuna to dodge also.
I think Yuna was getting hit though.
Yeah, I'm saying because if Yuna doesn't get hit, then Beatrix won't counter, and the party won't get batteried.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, that's how you break the loop, is Yuna dodging.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because they had to skip, and I can't imagine how long it took, because it needs to proc like 4 or 5 dodges with Yuna at 10% each with Ramu evasion passive.
Yep.
Yeah, seems crazy, but it was really cool. But anyway, we've diverged.
Okay, yeah, Daniel, did
Quite
we
a
answer
lot.
your question? What I remember what I wanted to say about Aranea was I always do my polls, which are very unscientific but very fun. Seeing and the Eldnar's poll was so heavily skewed towards Skip, and I've never seen that on my polls before. So that was extremely funny to watch. But Aranea looks like a lot of people are very excited for Aranea again. A lot of weren't a lot of, but there was a number of people who definitely commented. I haven't looked at the Reddit infographic comments either, but people were like, oh, she was so good in Chaos. I gotta go for her again. Um, she's not what she once was, guys. But do you have any thoughts on that, Ink? If people might be like, oh wait, she's not
Well,
who carried me through Chaos anymore.
no, she's not. But what drives me nuts is that they look at it and say she. I ended up resolving it with the person on Reddit because I like arguing on Reddit for some reason.
Yeah, you do.
I do get downvoted for it, but whatever.
Deal with it.
People are like, oh, well, she is not busted anymore like she was in Chaos, so I'm not going to pull her now. And sure, that's fine. But comparing a character to what I would consider an untested mistake that caused an unbalanced game state, you saying, "Oh, this is it." I mean, I don't play. I played a little bit of like Hearthstone or something, but I could compare it to like Magic the Gathering or something like that, where it's like, "Oh, you changed a mechanic." Like I think they at one point in Hearthstone reworked like Leroy Jenkins or whoever the hell that was. But in like Magic the Gathering, they changed for the first time ever. They had to rewrite the entire companion mechanic because it was too broken. So comparing something to like, oh, hey, this is not as broken as it was before. Remember when the game was basically like trivialized because the character was untested? It's just not a good litmus test for whether you pull a character or not. Compare Aranea to the people around her and to your roster, not to her previous EX plus self. It pisses me off.
Well said. Catching up on chat. You're a Cloud fan. Which spheres do you give him? I gave him his own. I gave him Lisa's sphere, and I gave him Emperor's sphere, which might not have been the best. I'm thinking about swapping it out for Fujin as well, but I also like that on Arciela. GRW, shout out to GRW for the Terra Saga. Go follow him.
Yeah, GRW's done great. Although GRW, I'm glad that you've enjoyed having the Terra Saga there. I am removing the sagas as they drop, just because I struggle to make sure that the sagas are still current. So like I forgot which was the first one I did when I had to remove it. It may have been like Kimari. Then I had a Kimari saga up, and they hadn't posted for like 3 months. And it's like people are hitting our site all the time, and they're looking at older graphics. And I don't want to show people like super outdated YouTube runs. It's just very misleading, and it reminds me of when I first started the game, and I was looking. I pulled Sarah's 35. This was back this was 50s era, and I saw a bunch of Sarah runs online, and I was like, oh my god, Sarah's so good, she's going to be amazing. And then I made the mistake of investing tons in her. I think I dumped like 600 or 700 tickets on one of those half weekly banners that had her, Galuf, and Ash or something like that. And it was just a bunch of 15 and 35s, and I dumped insane numbers of tickets just trying to MLB Sarah's 15, which I can't tell you, like, that is so idiotic. I got like 70 copies of that crap when I was pulling for her EX and all of that. But like, I don't want to mislead people like that don't know, that are just starting the game and looking at something and they're like, oh my god, look at how great this is, and it's not tuned for, and it's not considering current content. So
well said. Yeah, definitely good to update that, or else people get wrong impressions, like thinking RCL without our EX is good.
Oh my
what a time
god.
that was.
Yeah. Oh hey, did you know that Aranea's, the buff that Aranea gets when she breaks a target and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called C65. That was what I learned from watching all the Aranea videos. It's just
Huh?
called her C65 buff.
Oh
So
no.
that's cool.
Oh no. That's a yikes. Damn. It's got a
I
name,
mean,
bro.
yeah, it for sure has a name, and it comes from so many places now, not just her C65.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
I'm wondering who Proto Man missed on her GL debut. I don't know if it's Aranea or whether it's Sarah.
If
you
or
yeah.
slander in chat. Is the UPEXG going to be fixed in global? Nope. They're fully aware of it. They're just going to leave it there.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been fixed in JP, right?
Nope.
They didn't adjust it. Yeah, I don't even want to do a Lufenia research for that. Like, I'm curious what chat thinks and what you think, BC. Like, we do a ton of research. We obviously Yuffie can solo it with her 35. Not even. She doesn't even need her weapons. She just needs crystal passives, and she can use a call like Arciela's call to silence the guy out so he can't attack her. It's trivially easy. I don't know how many people are planning to not use the Yuffie cheese.
That fight is a nightmare if you don't do it. That's the funny part. Like, it's not even that you can do the fight and feel good about it. Like, the fight is legitimately horrible without it. It's like it has the Shiva thing where it freezes you. Oh my god, that's already an ass mechanic on top of other things. The HP poison that it does is huge, which is why it destroys the boss. Oh, it's a really, and I think it absorbs a bunch of elements too. And the orb is, I think it's a water orb. It's an awful fight. Why wouldn't you cheese it? I mean,
I feel like I need to show off Mog. It's Robert. It's the Dullahan fight.
Yeah.
For Mog's chapter.
Miss me with that.
His second chapter. I may have to just blow it up with Mog and Terra. And depending, I don't know. I need to see what elements it absorbs. I haven't checked, because if I can throw Celeste there, that's great.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. How are you feeling about Celes being like kind of shut out these next two fights?
Oh my god, it pisses me off so much. What the fuck?
I completely I forgot about the lock thing, and then I forgot about the ice thing. That's like a double tap. That was very annoying. It's very good that she's fantastic for the next three fights. The all the Astola cycles. She's fantastic for all three of those fights. So you'll get your comeuppance there.
Oh my! It really. I'm literally. I recorded a couple videos of Celeste with like lightning and some other. I think I was trying either Aerith or whoever. Oh my! I tried like 4 or 5 runs, and I was like, "This is painful," and I hate using lightning. It was like I felt like I was countering my soul by throwing lightning in my main party for a Lufenia fight. It was so boring. She constantly turn jumps. But anyway, I don't want to talk about lightning. I want to talk about how the fact that it's freaking crap that ice is absorbed tonight.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Malicite just said they cucked Sid Raines bad. Do you have a response to that, BC?
What is this noise? Is that my microwave? What was the comment? They cucked Sid Raines bad. I don't know. Okay, Malicite, explain. Could you explain in detail the amount of fights Sid Raines was shut down in versus the ones he worked in?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They don't shut that much out.
Because I can tell you exactly where Sid Raines worked, and then I can give you a longer list of where he did work.
Do you think Sid Raines can carry Cyan through Loot Plus?
Possibly. Who just joined? Necklord.
Who else?
Oh, it could have been Mino. That's who else. All right.
Well, I wouldn't have brought up Cyan.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the hint.
Oh.
What's up there?
Hello, Necklord. You missed us talking about chicken nuggets versus chicken tenders versus boneless wings. What are they called? No, we're not. No, we're not going down that rabbit hole again. No, we're laughing.
They are just called chicken nuggets.
Okay.
No, there's very few things that are different, to be honest. I think that whole Yeah, that whole thing's overblown.
Is it?
Although the British versions are all better.
Okay.
I'll stress that.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, hopefully, I'm not too worried about Celeste. I know I'm going to use her in most of the Y'shtola cycle, if not all of it, and then also, I can't use her in Terra's fight, unfortunately. Actually, I will use her in Terra's fight anyway. I'm just going to use the Ramu strat, and I'll probably use Emperor or somebody to delay the crap out of the boss, so they never get a turn. I did so much research on that fight. That fight is going to be a lot of fun with Terra. They get immune to delay, and you have to take 8 turns. But if you delay the living crap out of them before they get immune to delay, then you can do whatever you want. And if you Ramu paralyze them, they can't counter elemental attacks anymore. That's how people got Paladin Cecil through.
And
Lightning.
Is it straight up? So it's not. So it counters elements below 50%. That's the thing, right?
Yeah. Once it hits 49% HP, it counters elements with a Brave HP that dispels all your buffs.
Yeah, and it delays you 6 turns, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chad, for backing me up on the Settle Reigns thing. I'm glad I don't have to say it myself anymore. people call bullshit on it immediately. Thank you, Chad.
I'm trying to think. The last time I did the whole, delete/delay them and have them never act was probably like Amida Telian's event. And I just remember doing it and I was like, wow, that was just like fucking, it's just boring.
Yeah.
I just never did it again.
I try not to do it unless it's some of the delay orbs in the future. Honestly, I'm gonna keep saying this because people don't know how ridiculous the Terra month is. that month has some pretty garbage fights. The Ami Lost Chapter in particular has it's weird because the challenge quest is harder than the Lufenia, in my opinion. What else is weird about that one? Dash's Lost Chapter was a nightmare. I think I've told Ink about that 50 million times. And Transcendence 2 is pretty tricky as well.
Yeah, so I know I'm going to use Celeste on Dash. That's 100%. Yeah, that'll be fun. I mean,
is that why the presence of Terra Yang was so striking when it was a thing? Simply because the fights in that cycle were also trash, and everyone was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, blow them before they can kill you, pretty much.
Nice.
It also worked hilariously well.
I was surprised with how much, I'm just starting to do research in it, but I'm surprised at how many other team comps work that don't have Terra, that don't have Garland in the fights, and instead the people are using other BT characters in their place. Like True, you may need their BTs, like Ultimisha, using Ultimisha on Terra's Lufenia, she actually does extremely, extremely well for it, and enables basically no boss turns after halfway through the fight. If you want to do that, I don't know. I don't find it that much fun, but I do love skill spamming with Ultimisha.
Oh, yeah.
That is
really
hella fun.
It's just a matter of sometimes people are freaking out like, oh, what if I don't have this BT? What am I gonna do? Well, sometimes when you don't have stuff, you get creative, and then you end up being a better player for it. Like, what was it? Me with no Garland or no Terra BT on Transcendence 2, and I'm losing my shit. I'm like, wait, everyone has Terra and Garland's BT. What am I supposed to do? But then I got creative with Onion Knight, and it worked out. Same thing with ton of Transcendence 4, the right node. I used Shantoto for the burst. I don't know anybody else who did that, and I use you can get creative, guys. Just because it hasn't been done on YouTube doesn't mean you can't figure something out.
Yeah, I think you were the only Onion Knight runner that we found for T2.
It was out of necessity, and I had actually just tokened his burst because I hadn't pulled any in a very long time. That's what's happening to me in JP right now. I haven't pulled a burst in forever, and none of the ones that are rerunning with Burst Plus are getting me either. And Arden sucks dick, so I'm not using him. And so, but Ace, oh my god, I'm gonna be hyping up Ace so much. That dude is insane value.
Is Arden a bit of a dud?
I think Arden's ass. They didn't do anything he needed. I mean, they gave him more HP attacks. Probably the most insulting thing about Arden is the fact that they gave him a Brave gain before his skill 2 during Lufenia Plus, which amounts to like 3k Brave gain. Like, okay, well thanks. You might as well just not put it there. Like, why? It does nothing. Skill
Can you cancel it out by throwing the Brave gain up supports in the party or no?
Well, I mean, obviously you can do that, but still, it's just a pathetic little Brave gain. It barely does anything to the skill.
For sure.
And they went and like he's all about the getting the free turn on break, but unlike what's it called, lightning, he does not have high turn rate on stuff, so he can't abuse the breaks really fast. And he doesn't. The only rebreak he has is on his EX, which is super slow. And then they went and gave Jekt a rebreak for free on his skill 1. Like, why couldn't Arden get that? Like, that would have made him so much better. So Arden's barely taking advantage of his consecutive turns, and it just And his burst effect sucks too. I'm just so disappointed with Arden. I think he's the first dud BT plus. Like everyone else has been good, but Arden, I'm loving Zidane. I just use him in the Maria Lost chapter. But man, Arden, I don't feel.
I plan to plus him anyway when that time comes, but
oh yeah,
it's a bit of a shame.
Book him at least. It's I've been working on my thoughts around that too, but I'm becoming is bullish the right word on burst weapons? Yeah. I want to get more. That's what I'm saying. Because this drought of not pulling any and me not wanting to chase any in JP either. I mean, I'm not suffering for it. Like I said, I've done all content. I'm being really cheap with my fucking 0 to 3 ace. But I see more value in those triple BT banners now. Even if I don't have all 3 of them, I'm very incentivized to go all the way if I can. This is just because I have so many resources, solely because I might pick up more tokens along the way, which might mean more unique bursts. I'm still trying to figure that opinion out. I don't quite have it down.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of stuff that only BC can answer because Necklord and I don't play JP, but yeah. People are asking about Bart's BT plus and then Maria's LD.
Okay, let me catch up with chat. Me and Lufenia Plus with no Porum and Setzer made me a much better player. Yeah, I actually completely agree with that because I didn't have Porum initially, and I got her LD on that free LD banner, which was nice. But I have Setzer, but I haven't used him in a single Lufenia Plus because I felt boring because I saw everyone else doing it, and it made me appreciate the difficulty a little bit more because it made me stretch my roster out without having to pull. And I'm trying to do the whole do content before you pull unless I'm set like alright I gotta get them, but it's definitely helped me out. So crispy crackers, I definitely agree with that. Yoshi Pasta, still wondering if I should get Aranea's LD or wait until Prompto's LC 2.0. I need to take a bit of a break since I keep being short with 1% on Kai's Lightning and Ramza in Eld's last chapter. Oof, that's rough. I hope you can get that down.
That seems rough.
I like how Punish Science hiding behind Vroom Vroom. Could probably prove BC wrong. Prove me wrong about. I think the rework wants you to focus on the follow. Oh, you're talking about Arden. I don't think a double HP attack follow up was still enough. Like you really have to load him up, and it's to the point where obviously he's still viable, can still do things, but it doesn't feel like the rework they gave him fixed really any of his issues, and it just feels really bad. Speaking about Arden, going from Jekt, who can just rebreak on demand and just chain everything together, versus Arden, who if there's nobody to break available, well then sorry, you just did a normal Arden attack, and Jekt, even if he didn't get a break, did more damage. So
most bosses just dispel is overkill, right? So
well, no, we haven't had crazy dispel, so that's not a big deal. But what was I gonna say? His burst effect, the burst plus effect, like he had an early burst, and they didn't give him like steroids on his burst plus effect too. Like they upped the I think it was the brave damage cap, and they gave him an HP damage up. Like that was it. Meanwhile, Jekt gets he's a new burst and he gets 100% crit damage. Is it crit damage? No, it's 100% brave damage up versus a broken target. Meanwhile, Arden's just brave regenning with in the midst of brave gain reductions. So I'm not really too positive on it. But I encourage everyone to prove me wrong. I do state that Arden's viable. I just hate using him, and I'm sad because I like him. How about Bart's? I recommend Bart's. I recommend everybody pity Bart's burst on the Tifa banner. That's probably one of the greatest banners of all time, with the future in mind. It's insane value on that banner. Yeah, Bart's is still good. Maria. What are my current thoughts on Maria? She looks better than I gave her credit for, but it was a hot take reaction, so that's whatever. I don't care. I still don't want to use her. Her skills are still ass. Arden takes more effort. It's not that you're not smart. Some people just like a challenge. Guys, if you really want me to read your chats, super chat is available. I'm skimming chat because I don't want to take up all the airspace. But I did want to. I also wanted to make fun of the people who are going to try and solo tier 2, the left node with Garland. I don't know where I wanted to go with that, but I think I was talking about that on. Was it on the Monday stream? I brought it up sometime, and I said anyone who tries that is an idiot because there's literally no point. Have you guys seen that solo?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I think you brought it up when we a time when we last chatted. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna repeat it. It's not safe for work, but I don't think anybody. There's people working somewhere, but you shouldn't have this blasting over your work speakers anyway. Soloing is basically analogous to masturbation. You're going to have a great time and no one else is going to care. You don't tell your friends about it. It's not something that's exciting. You want to flex it, go ahead. People are going to ignore you. And you're not going to get as much benefit out of doing it with a group. You do it with a group, you have a lot more fun. That's all I'm going to say.
Really tight. Let's let them. Yeah, I seen it also. Yeah, I don't. Let them try. I mean, have at it, but then, who are you saving? It's just if you've been playing for a while, and really, the new player thing held a little bit more water for entropy because there was ingots, but transcendence is just burst tokens, bro, and high armor tokens. What the hell is the point of soloing that? I mean, people are gonna try, so I mean, more power to you.
Just put one more character with them to make it that much easier.
Yeah, why? I just don't get the logic, but I mean, people do what they gotta do. I see. Yoshi Pasta, I'm with you on Arden. I just don't. Part of it is just I don't think he feels fun to play. That's probably part of why I just don't like what they did with him. I'm more hyped for Caius though. If Caius really is the next burst, and that's pretty awesome. John Belmont, one of the funnier people in chat generally. That's an odd way to describe solo, but not inaccurate. This chicken came out well.
Yeah, I mean, good chicken goes a long way. Also, cooking is very satisfying.
Oh yeah. Poor MLD came out with Transcendence 3. Hello, Theological. My friends cheer me on for it all the time. Pikachu, you don't have friends.
Props to Pikachu's avatar, though. That thing is adorable.
That's a word to describe it. Sayador is going to be a burst character. Oh boy, I hate talking about burst candidates so much. That's like top 5 things I really hate because everyone and their mom is convinced that someone's gonna get a burst. The Seymour BT fans are down bad right now. People are saying, "Hey, Kadaj will get an upgrade when he gets a burst," and I'm like, "Shut up!" Well, first off, Kadaj's burst would be so underwhelming. Oh my god, it would be almost as underwhelming as Eldnars's burst, just as the fact that he got it. People are like, "Oh, Kieran LD would be hilariously. I mean, Kieran BT would be hilariously boring. So would Yuri." And I say this all the time. I actually played and liked Yuri's game, but please don't give that man a burst. Please just give him an LD and be done with it. Y'all, the people hyping these hi Mino, these these boring ass bursts. Y'all gotta chill out, bro. If Sayador, I really don't want Sayador to get a burst because then people are gonna be annoying about it.
And also, how's that going to work? Because he already goes Super Saiyan.
Holy shit!
What the fuck's the next level?
Oh, never mind. That's P. What? Oh, I saw 250, but it's in a currency I don't recognize. Thank you, Crispy Crackers, for donating 200 PHP, whatever that is.
Filipino money.
Oh, it is? Okay.
No, I don't know. I'm guessing 250.
What does that mean?
Could just be some kind of Bitcoin.
Is it
Yep,
Bitcoin?
it's Philippine peso.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, congrats from the Philippines. Glad your content's kept me entertained throughout quarantine. Hey, man, that means a lot to me. Quarantine's been rough for people. Glad to have helped. It's doing my thing.
There's quite a presence in the Opera Omnia community in the Philippines for some reason.
That's racist.
How is that racist, idiot?
It's an observation.
Why you gotta bring race into this, Necklord?
Like, well, I'm talking about the region,
God.
the country.
I put too much pepper on this.
And its constituents. It's nothing to do with race.
A lot of Italians too.
It's very intriguing that the first topic in your head when you come in here is race.
Coming out hot. If someone needs burst, Sarah needs another tuning pass. Oh, that's a fun topic. Did we talk about Sarah's rework last week? Because I'd love to beat that horse again.
Man, I was on mute. So, one, I'm pulling country data from Tonberry Troop website, so I can tell you where we actually have a lot of traffic. Two, Sarah's getting reworked in like a week, so don't worry about it. That is not confirmed, but it is heavily believed. So much so that it feels true at this point.
Heavily believed by you?
Me and maybe like 6 or 7 other people. There's a big following.
People you've been brainwashing?
I mean, if I can bring more to the side, I'm fine.
It's probably like Dreamy because you threatened to cut him from the group if he didn't agree with you.
So outside of the U.S., the next most, the next highest country that utilizes TonberryTroop.com is the Philippines. So props to Philippines. Yeah, Philippines, Singapore, Canada, the UK. Most of the UK is probably just Necklord, though, not just like refreshing pages.
I met a lot of Filipino players early in the day. What was his face to Krith, if you guys remember? He was around a lot. Yeah. Apparently, these mobile free-to-play games are just big there because, like, poor country, you know, not to talk shit, but it's just like getting a AAA game costs so much more there. So, like, mobile gaming and free-to-play gaming's a lot bigger there.
Yeah, it's a good thing. More accessible to people.
Yeah. But he also spent more money than he had at some point to crit, so
yes,
that was also dangerous. Don't do that, guys.
So wasn't Vane from the Philippines? No, Vane was from a city called Arcades.
I hate you.
You're getting kicked.
Oh no!
So entertaining. I want to shout out the one person from Mongolia that has hit our site this week. You are great. You are repping Mongolia.
Mongolia is a real place.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting country to visit. My wife went there because I mean it's basically untouched by tourism. So it depends on what kind of traveler you are, especially once COVID lifts. I'm sure people are going to be traveling in droves when it's safe to travel again, and it's not taboo or anything like that. But if you can find places to visit that you might enjoy that are untouched or low touched by tourism, man, it gives you a true and genuine experience for travel and understanding other countries and other cultures. Tourism utterly, completely ruins it. You can do trips where you get tours and you get like some genuine contact. That definitely happens on trips. You can do that, but the whole tourism aspect removes a lot. It gives you so much. I don't know if safety is not the right word because I don't feel threatened when there is no tourism around. But it gives you like some form of peace of mind that doesn't really give you anything new out of it. So yeah, going to countries that are untouched they're really, really fun to go to, really interesting, and it's a completely different trip. You can go to probably 40 other countries and you wouldn't get the same experience. All right, I'm done my travel soapbox.
Yes,
Sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Don't listen, BC, don't listen to him. He speaks from no, I agree with a lot of what you said except for the safety thing. For sure. Like I'm not calling you out specifically, but definitely there's a huge like white male privilege when you travel because I've traveled with white male friends and family members and they get treated so much better than anything else. And like I have like my sister used to be a what do you call those people that work in the embassies?
Ambassador.
Diplomats.
There's another word for it. Those are like the top ranking people. It's like a whatever. But either way, like, no, women never travel alone to places like that. That's terrible. Or like if you're like dark skinned, you're not treated so well when you're traveling alone to a lot of places as well. It's very sad.
Yeah, my wife is not white, and she's traveled alone and done just fine. But yeah, I mean, always be careful with what you're doing. But I mean, when I got to go to India, and there was a time I was staying with friend family, and they were like, "Hey, we're really sorry, we're going to be busy all day. Can we drop you somewhere?" And I was like, "Oh, can you drop me at this sightseeing thing?" And I was expecting it to be touristy. It was not. In fact, I could probably, and I'm not exaggerating, I could probably see about 1,000 people from where they dropped me off. And there was not a single white person. It was really, really uncomfortable. And I didn't feel threatened, but I felt very out of place and extremely, not necessarily like any form of privilege was not there. Like it's a feeling of vulnerability when you're just unfamiliar with your surroundings. It's a very, very good experience. Definitely humbles you to get out of your element and experience life a different way.
Screw that. Who goes outside? Tisarathi, I have to acknowledge this horrible, horrible comment. Do they have to use PHP though? At least upgrade to Java pages or something.
That's worse than some of my zingers.
Yes, it is worse. That was. I might have to actually ban you. Michigan, I'm sorry about. Insert Detroit joke here. What I feel like that JoJo episode. Everything in life can be boiled down to a JoJo episode. What's on your mind today, Mino?
I don't know.
Race?
I missed it. Yeah.
We were
apparently, I guess. I mean, like, I had more to say, but I was like, wait, this is a DFFOO stream.
Yes,
but
it's whatever we. But
I mean,
the fuck we talk about stream.
I was. Ink was like, oh, I felt out of place. Everyone should feel. A lot of minorities feel out of place all the time, everywhere. Like, that's not a new feeling for minorities. I don't know if BC wants to back that, but like, yeah, that's
no,
just. Yeah.
I create my
sorry,
own
go
world. We were making fun of. We were. What was it? We were talking about Aranea a lot earlier. It was split between.
Solid unit.
Yeah, it was. We were bouncing back and forth between. Wow, she was so broken in Chaos, and I want to pull her again. And wow, she's not as broken as Chaos, so now she's a skip. You have any
So
thoughts
in other
on
words,
that mindset?
In other words, she's good, but she's no Aranea.
I think the only thing I wanted to touch on, but I think I already told you privately, was I agree. I think your Maria hot takes were a little too hot. I think I was trying to say that in chat during your stream, but it gets drowned out. But like, yeah, I was like, dude, that's good utility on the reduce brave to 0 and heals, and then an instant break. Like, that's good. You hated a little too hot in the beginning.
Ferris sort of does that, doesn't she?
Ferris reduces brave to 0
afterwards, right? Yeah.
Maria does
so
it
it's
before.
like, yeah, it's a very different thing. It's basically an insta break and a heal before the party, so it's like extra security.
Ferris's whirlpool triggers before the gravity, or is that a counter? I forgot what.
That's a great question, actually.
That's an excellent question. I think Ferris is after the boss axe. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
Yeah. Then I just forgot. I haven't used Ferris in a while.
It's the first time a trap comes before enemy turn, and then reducing the brave to 0 beforehand means the boss is always going to be delayed a turn, and if it hits you, because if, like, let's say you delay it 1 turn, let's say A and B are going consecutively, both of them are drained and attacking from a broken state, and their brave gain is reduced, so it's basically making sure they don't murder you out the gate.
Yep, might have came in a little hot, but that's what the reactions are for.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah. That's the only DFFOO comment I had for the week.
Okay.
I
You
haven't
really-
been thinking about it. Go ahead.
You need to learn anime font, BC, to raise the quality of your hot takes.
Clearly. I was so surprised they put details in the video. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was
God.
actually very entertaining to see your excitement from. from
What in
that.
the Maria one?
Yeah, they put
Yeah, they
details
should-
of the debuff.
Chris is asking, so in other words, you will pull. I don't know who you're talking to, but if you're referring to Maria, I'm still not sure yet. Just because, like, I acknowledge a tool is good, doesn't mean it's my personal playstyle. Like Aranea, I think Aranea is a really good unit. That guaranteed crit and amplified crit damage is still very good in this day and age, and the constant rebreaks is still very good right now, especially when we're going to be entering like a little delay period here coming up with Garland and some some break orbs and not giving them turns. Like, we've already entered that part where we're not giving the enemy turns, right? Like, I know all of you ran fucking lightning because you didn't want to give Eldnar's boss any turns, and Ramu. So like
I ran Arciela, but yeah.
Oh, right. But I mean, like, I was watching Chris's streams, and I know he no-turned both of the last Lufanias, so, like, if no-turning is your preferred strat, Aranea is a for sure pickup.
Mark
Just not for me.
Myers has sent me a peach emoji. I have so many different things to say about this, Mark. I have so many different things to say, I don't know what to say at all. But just know that Mark just sent me a peach emoji. I think that stands on its own.
Why not just get Garland? Because it's a little different. Garland's not re-breaking and not amplifying crit damage for the team. Like, that's a big deal.
Also,
I'm pretty sure there's some orbs that tick on crits, right, too?
Yes. I
Yeah,
think there
there
are
you go.
Aranea orbs. GRW said, if I need constant rebreaks, I prefer Aranea over Gabranth. That's not quite comparable, because Aranea
Gets
one,
consecutive turns.
yes. She also does a truckload more damage than Gabranth does. Vital Crusher
He also
is...
doesn't instant break.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Gabranth is a defensive unit, right?
Yeah,
Makes
and he
the
has
enemies do
party.
less damage. Aranea increases party damage. Why? This concept is really hard for some people. Like, look, some people increase party offense, some people increase party defense. Gabranth and Aranea are two sides of the same coin. Two very different sides, though. Just like we're talking about Dispellers, and Vanille decreases incoming damage, whereas and Ferris do, whereas Balthier increases party damage going out.
Also, there's a different... We gotta... I've been learning this in my comments. We gotta separate re-breaking and insta-breaking and unbreaking. All that stuff.
Yeah.
There's different ones. Gabranth,
Yeah.
Aranea unbreaks versus a broken target. She will not instantly break.
No, doesn't
someone
she
who breaks.
re-break with S2? Like, she'll
Yeah.
break a broken target.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
so
does.
she re-breaks.
Well,
Yeah,
with
so,
her LD
yeah.
buff, she does that with everything now.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, yeah, I thought we've been using the term correctly. Re-break is breaking a target that's already broken. Unbreaking is like lightning AA, where you just bring them out of it.
Yeah.
And instant break is instant break.
Well,
I know
'cause
VL made a big video.
Technically, when you re-break, you're resetting the break status.
Yes.
And making it low enough, in theory, that you'll be able to break it again. But it's actually possible to whiff that. It's a really bad feeling.
How do you whiff it?
Not doing enough damage after after you reset the break status.
Ah, yeah.
It's pretty sad to do that.
Not all re-breaks are insta-breaks, CSDX says.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we've all been using the terms correctly, though.
I think so, yeah, but it's just a little confusion. Good to
Yeah.
because Gabranth, and that goes back to Gabranth can instant break and Gabranth can re-break. Aranea can re-break, but she doesn't instant break.
That's why I'm pushing Brave discount as a term early. Inc. I need TT to get on that train for Iroha.
Or think
Brave
of something even
discount?
better. Yeah.
Yeah, so like
Like
when
a
they...
Roja?
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, that's gonna drive you guys crazy. By the way,
That's
We'll
what I
go-
said.
No, not even that. the Golbez and Sephiroth thing, where they have stolen brave damage up.
Isn't that just overflow?
No, I was explaining this to Tell earlier in the week, but I know Golbez, Sephiroth, and at least Jack have this, where they have 20% stolen brave up. So if they do 100 brave damage, their brave will actually increase by 120.
Why?
Yeah, that's gonna be a nightmare for you guys.
Wait. They're stolen. You mean just like the brave damage?
So they're gonna do 100 brave damage, but on their thing where their brave increases, it's gonna be 120.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be a nightmare.
It's just like the devs
explain.
were like, hey guys, how about we create coding problems for ourselves in like 9 months by having this really thing that's basically the same as something else but done in a different way.
No, it makes sense because then they can differentiate them more later. But
It's just they're doing more brave damage than you realize. It's pretty funny. Well, no, they're not doing more brave damage. They're getting more brave than you realize when they attack.
right. But anyways, yeah, brave discount. I'm pushing that ink for Iroha, and then eventually Jacked. And then even Vaughn, right? Like, because he doesn't drop under a certain amount.
Well, no, the discount is brave discount sounds weird. I need to come up with it's like a brave consumption thing is what I would rather go with.
What do you mean brave consumption? Like, how would you word it? Because like we threw some terms around. I feel like discount's gotta be the best way to go.
HP attack brave consumed minus 20%.
That sounds
minus 20%.
horrible.
I don't know yet. Damn it, man.
Damn it,
Back
man!
up.
Take my suggestion. So
Let's
your
see.
dog agreed.
No, my dogs aren't supposed to pee in their bed, and my dog is now peeing in his bed, and it's pissing me the hell off. So he's back in his crate because we're crate training, and he's now super pissed, and that's why he's high pitch barking. He's not like aggressively barking because he knows he did super bad, and he's mad that I'm not like playing with him anymore.
Grand Ruby, Garland doesn't bring anything with delay and aura for speed down. Garland also has a defense down aura. That's important too. Can someone explain what Terra and Garland Burst does? They don't really explain much in their videos. I have no idea what the hell Terra's Burst does. I actually don't know what Garland's Burst either does. I just know it makes you do more damage eventually. And it has stacks. I don't know what most burst effects do, honestly.
So Terra's, I'll just pull up our research document. Damn Tellyut for not naming the Tellyut does all the initial research for our stuff, and he always names it. Most of the documents are like Imiditelian LD update or Deuce LD research, and instead for Terra, it's Inc forced to play meta LDBT, and it doesn't even fucking say Terra. It pisses me off. But anyway, her burst effect is party gained in stolen overflow plus 20%. HP damage plus 20% when breaking or attacking a broken target, Brave and HP damage limit plus 20%, and Brave regen 50% Brave damage dealt for 10 turns. So she basically gives you a bunch of Brave back after you attack. She gives you more damage as long as she gives you like a Charlotta HP damage up effect when you're breaking or attacking a broken target, which is most of the time. Unless they have like some crazy brave damage reduction. She boosts the limit of Brave and HP damage by 20 and gives party. She has who gives both 20 gained and stolen? Is that Selfie?
And Aerith and Quistis.
No, Aerith is 30.
Oh, right.
Yeah, 30.
Quistis is 2020, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This is 2020 in
Yeah.
the EX Plus era?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Garland, I don't have readily available in my history because I haven't
Yeah.
gotten up to Garland yet.
Aranea benefits of being LD only if you're looking at strong characters on a budget. I don't know what that means.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Let me
Stolen
find
John
that
Belmont,
comment.
stolen brave damage up, so it adds after. It's a very convoluted concept to explain, but just know you're getting more brave even if you're doing less brave damage. It's the kind of I view it as kind of as an equalizer against brave damage reduction for people who have a fuck ton of brave hits like Sephiroth does. So Sephiroth does like a million brave hits, and he's going to benefit from it because he's going to take more brave away. He's going to receive more brave than he's actually dealing. So that helps.
It's like a brave gain up from brave hitting.
Yeah. Kind of weird to wrap your mind around. I saw some people on Facebook. He probably could have just ended it there because saying Tom Brady Troop was wrong about avoiding Vanille Spear on Aranea. Those are just a bunch of hype beasts. Don't worry about them.
Yeah, and if you ask them in a month or 2 months, hey, how much did that Vanille Spear help your Aranea? They will say it didn't.
Yeah.
And I would rather, if you love Aranea that much and you want to use her and you're pulling her LD, you probably want to give her like 10% attack or even the Amiditalian aura, like give people brave regen, like do anything else besides Vanille Sphere. It won't make her better at most fights. So
I think anyone who likes running lightning should just get Aranea. I feel like that's an almost equal replacement going forward.
So
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I'm gonna
just shove lightning in the fucking tier for the BT synergy. Aranea is because everyone uses lightning for the re-break delays right now, right? Like, and then she's obviously going to show her age with time. Aranea is coming in fresh.
Yeah, and one thing to point out, which is that there are potentially comments floating around that if you have lightning, then you don't need Aranea. Oh my god, they are. Yes, they are similar, but Aranea deals AoE damage and lightning does not. Aranea is non-elemental. She does not get locked out by Thunder Absorb, and you could argue that lightning doesn't get locked out by Thunder Absorb either, but you have to make these like big brain party comps that actually probably stress you out or waste your time just to run lightning through it. If you love lightning, great, enjoy it, have fun using her in every level, but that doesn't mean you skip Aranea, because if you don't have any AoE damage, also Aranea is a boss rush monster, like absolute monster boss rush, because she can spam skills and just tear enemies apart. But I'll shut up.
Oh, don't shut up. Go on.
No, it sure, like, yeah, I mean, it pisses me off when you compare characters. My dog's still pissed. It doesn't make sense to compare Lightning and Aranea. And also Aranea is so much easier to play. She is so much easier to play than Lightning. Lightning is fairly annoying to play unless you really enjoy using Lightning, and then that's fine. But
that's a take. I don't know about that one. Because Aranea has the whole buff management thing going on.
Yeah, but you're already aggressively using Aranea's skills. Right. And when she loses Overclock, you can just use her HP plus to get it. Like if your EX is nearly charged, then you could easily just use your EX to your HP plus to get Overclock, and then you'll have your EX charged after. Like, there are definitely situations for it. And sure, Aranea does have buff management problems, but most of the videos I've watched of Aranea, I've watched more than I probably should have. Like, people are just spamming skills with her anyway because they're running her alongside damage dealer. The damage dealer that enables other damage dealers is very interesting.
That is a great point.
It is, I think, probably comparable in some ways to Trey, because Trey is also a damage dealer's best friend with his 45% brave damage up. Like, they end fights very quickly to the point that you don't have to worry about skills with Aranea. You can nearly spam skills with her. You can use a few HP. Obviously, her Boost Lance Plus is like broken. It's very strong with AoE hits, single target damage, and splash. So it's great. But yeah, you don't need to worry about the buff management because the fight's over by then. If you use Aranea as your sole damage dealer and you're running her with, like, I don't know, Stola and Selfie or something, I don't know, then yeah, maybe she will run out because you're running her with two supports. But I feel like right now most people, like the videos that I watched, people were running her with Emperor, with Ulti, with Terra, with Garland. Like, people ran her with just about all the premium, really strong damage dealers, and she enabled all of them to keep hitting really hard.
Battle Crush is a hell of a debuff.
Heck yeah, it is. It's a two-turn Saz is what it is.
Chat's trying to come up with ideas to call the Stolen Brave. I think the official term is Stolen Brave gain up. But
yeah, which I mean, honestly, if there's a term for it in the game, it's easy to just go with that. Like guaranteed hit, right? Like we used to argue about everything, but the game literally says guaranteed hit.
Yep.
If the game already gives it a term, don't make up a new fucking term, guys, because then then you're confusing new players. Like, come on.
I have a bad habit of
guaranteed hit should be replaced with true hit rate plus 100%.
Launch and super synergy are exceptions.
I agree. A guaranteed hit is misleading because it's like unstoppable force meets immovable object, right? Here's a plonker for you, right? Guaranteed hit versus perfect dodge from the Ico Ghosts. What wins?
Yeah, that's a good point because then there's 100% debuff evasion, but then guaranteed debuffs so the guaranteed is a tier above 100.
Oh my god, I hate this. I hate this play.
Guaranteed hit, in fact, misses.
I hate it here.
Run it into perfect dodge. So.
What's wrong with me now?
The ridiculous terminology we're discussing. You guys are right. Like there's so much stuff that contradicts each other.
Yeah, true hit would make more sense though, because then
true hit. You heard it.
It would be consistent.
Heard that, Ink? Change it to my term. True hit.
She's basically an AoE version of Lightning. Hard no on that one.
What did they say?
For Aranea, she's it's always the basically. It's always the basically. Never, if you're describing someone, never say basically ever, because it usually doesn't come out well. Aranea is not basically an AoE version of Lightning. I assume that's what Grand Ruby's saying, that he heard Joe say that and didn't like it. Yeah, I don't like that take either.
You're basically comparing its Transcendence too, and you're saying, well, there's a lot of Lightning in Aranea and Transcendence too. Look, there's actually just a lot of Garland. People love Garland. He's great, and he's in 90% of the YouTube videos. He's running with Aranea. He is running with Lightning. Garland is the reason that a lot of those teams made it real easy.
Garland was the glue in Transcendence 2, rhyming accidentally.
Why say true hit when ignore defense exists? That's sarcasm, right? Because hits that ignore defense. First of all, wait, what? There's so many things that stuff that, like brave damage reduction, right?
Yeah, you also can ignore defense and miss.
Yeah.
Oh, my brain.
BC loves the math. He loves the maths. He does all maths in his streams.
Ink loves the math. I love the words.
No.
Yes.
I don't love the maths as much as people say. Like, people will tag me occasionally. And they're like, hey, why is this character dealing 11,000 brave damage? And I'm like, I don't care. Like,
liar.
No, I mean, I'm totally down for I of course want to understand how characters work and stuff like that, but I'm less interested in the big brain team comps, and I would rather people run it and explain it than me sit there and comb through like the data to figure out why someone's dealing 1100 brave damage. While there's like literally like 7 letters under the characters, because it's like, oh well, they've got a burst effect here and like 2 A's and a C, and it's like, it's just like, it's not worth anybody's time to do that. Like, correct. You should figure it out. Like, if you're interested in it, or just accept the fact that it's 1100 damage and move on.
John Belmont says, "Oh, good, they were done."
If it's a bug and you're dealing 19,000 brave damage, then enjoy it and don't tell anybody and exploit it as much as you can.
John Belmont says Golbez was like an off-brand brave game. So the final it's not an HP dump. Mino's gonna get mad at that. It's a brave dump. You're dumping brave. You don't dump HP damage. You dump brave.
Thank you. I get so fucking mad at that.
Anyways, wait. VV dumps HP. VV dumps HP.
Shut up. Lightning does AoE brave. Shut up. Lightning. Okay, Malicite is the hot take master today. Tripping with the RNA lightning comparison. Yeah. keep talking about my queen. Nah, don't tell me what to do. Uh, Lightning will return when Edward gets his LD calls, so we can bring another DPS.
Oh my god.
I don't get that. Am I missing something here?
I like what CSDX says. Like, yeah, game has enough effects that the fastest way is to throw together the team and just find out empirically. It's like I was gonna say something. I was gonna say something similar where when you're fighting a war and you're adjusting snipers and cannons, you're not sitting there doing math. You make a first shot and then you adjust based on the first shot. Like, if I don't know. How many of you are military nerds and stuff, but snipers carry a little book where when they make a shot, they write down the settings and then they adjust from there each time. And so the point is, fucking run that shit. Stop trying to crunch numbers. None of you guys are that smart anyways.
Yeah.
Clearly. Like, the hardest theory crafters are usually the worst players. Like, holy shit, guys. Come on.
Spicy, and I don't think he's wrong either. I'm actually on this one.
I'm using Eamon as my straw man because he's gone now, but this applies to so many of you. Especially, like, I see some of you guys in chat. This applies to so many of you. You guys are crunching numbers and like looking at videos for days, and then you guys like use the easiest comps because you guys can't fucking prove anything. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Speaking of hot takes, like the video. That's it.
Same goes for the fighting game community too, by the way.
Oh
usually
yeah,
the number nerds are the worst ones.
The Keith video, who says I'm that? Well, it was that moment where he's like, I'm the person who can do all these spreadsheets and all these numbers, but when it comes to tournaments, I have nothing.
because like you're usually crunching numbers because you're not out there doing the stuff.
Yeah, people doing things just do
like
it.
You're crunching the numbers because you're not out there doing the impressive runs or the TCC challenges, guys.
Like Belial doesn't waste any time with math. He just does bullshit. Yeah. Like, that's a perfect example of whatever. I hope they rework Noctis LD boards again so his buff lasts at least one more turn. Nah. Lightning's kind of click clacky. Aranea's unga bunga, click buttons, and carnage ensues. That was a very visceral sentence. Aren't most units skill spamming now? Generally, well, Eldenarch is it depends on how many. You're probably pressing his skills on his turns, but when he's just
I ran out of skills if I spam skills with Eldenarch on his own LC, so I don't think you can just spam his skills.
Yeah, I feel if any is easier, safer to spam skills. Yeah, like early chaos, like we were scrounging for skills and using HP pluses all the time, but I never hit my HP attack anymore. I've even started. I think ASIM inspired me to do this. I started putting my C65s on my first page because I never use HP plus. Okay, getting closer to the top of chat. Oh, I see. I got behind me.
HP plus, isn't that still good for
Depends
some?
on the characters. Majed, shut up. RNA is basically ranged at non-level lane. Shut up. Yeah. Apparently, you guys, a true damage is a league term, right? You all are a bunch of fucking league nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, league kind of sucks.
Jack dumps HP. I hate this so much. Snipers work in pairs. I don't get what that has to do with anything.
What does it have to do with the analogy? I'm so confused.
Snipers tend to have toast for breakfast. I don't know. What do you think? Lightning will get a Lightning definitely needs. Lightning's 3-hit skills are not gonna make it. He's definitely gonna get something. Try to adapt to your team comp, see if it works. Yeah, that's usually it. That's why I build around Una generally.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Lightning's next tuning pass comes in line with them fixing like skill 1, skill 2 EX to deal more damage, because she's going to be very limited in general, or at least her kit and her animations feel too limited for them to like throw. I don't know. They had Tifa, who I guess they may deal a butt ton of damage on her base skills now, but I don't know. It feels like Lightning wouldn't come back for a while until they add like another path, like the next creep after BT plus. Lightning would get BT plus plus, and plus plus.
We know we're getting EX upgrades. Lightning could easily get AoE Brave damage on Spark Strike. The animation's there for it, and Splash on Flourish of Steel. They could easily do that.
Yeah, it just feels lazy.
Oh yeah, they'll do it. So they got to be careful with lightning because then she'll probably be stupid again. Do you think there'll be a huge push to save gems leading up to Lufenia Plus? I don't think so because the Lufenia orbs kind of push against that because while it is possible to brute force your way through fights, you kind of gotta still pull, and people are gonna be pulling for Setzer and Porum, and you still got to do Transcendence. So people aren't gonna hoard, and they're gonna. Also, a lot of hoarding is not the answer, guys. It really does go back to what are you saving for. I don't think.
Rest in peace, 5DPZ. Did you guys cover that yet?
No, I don't
that
want
millionaire quit. Last I talked to him, he had to still have been over 1 million before he quit because last I talked to him about 2 months ago, he was at 1.8. So there's no way in 2 months he spent.
Lives in people's pockets.
I've been pulling pretty consistently. I think I have 50k more gems than I did when Squall's BT came out the first time.
Will there be a garbage time where it'll be easy to save? The game always goes in cycles where the bosses creep ahead of the units and everyone flips out and goes doomsday, and things even out, and then it's just kind of sailing. Some couple BS fights, couple easy fights in between. It's usually general smooth sailing, and then near the end of the era, the units start to creep ahead of the bosses. And I think Lufenia Plus hedges against that solely because of orbs existing and you needing a roster to do things. So say like people. If you skip Vivi and you don't have enough fire damage, then you might be able to skate by without Ignis or Vivi in the party, or maybe with the Lulu call. But maybe people will pull there. It's just stuff like that. And plus, you get bored if you're just going to be running Terra plus Yang. Yang on everything. That
you
doesn't
say
seem like
that, but I've noticed more and more that there are insane hoarders out there who would rather skip content than pull to do content. Does that make sense?
So,
it makes perfect sense.
And some people do that, and that's fine. People should try to do the event before it comes. But
yes.
I was going to ask BC if you can recall any character, and maybe it's just the usual people that are being overhyped, they're not being overhyped, but they're being incredibly hyped, like Quorum, Setzer, Agrius, Cloud of Darkness. Those characters, but is there anyone that you think is like fine when they come out and then you realize their power after their banner's gone and you're like, damn, I wish I had that.
Ace. Well, I do have Ace, but Ace has been that unit for me. Especially because Ace had a lot of complexity to how his traps worked and stuff, and I had no idea how the hell to play him.
I heard a lot of people say that about Ace. That
Ace has easily been my MVP. Like I think I said it in my Shiva video. I'm gonna try and hype him as the Lufenia Plus budget unit, as in he can just be burst only or just 0 to 3, and he's still kicking ass because his kit is just that powerful. He is crazy good. So Ace, it might. So could you say your question again? Because I know what Ace fit the bill, but I don't think anybody else quite fit that for me.
It's sort of like if people did the event of the character that came out, or when their banner drops, right? And they do the event before they pull, and they're like, well, I did the event. It was pretty easy. Maybe I don't need this character. They then wait and they get 4 more events, and they still don't need the character. Nothing's come up. They've completed everything without them. And then all of a sudden, now that their banner's gone, it's like, oh crap, I've now hit a wall. I really wish I had them.
Oh yeah, Agrius would probably fall on that too. I think
so. Any sleeper hits, basically. Agrius wasn't a sleeper hit, right?
No, she kind of was.
I heard a lot of people were praising her as one of the ways to get through the Lufenia Plus battery reduction.
Well, by then Agrius was already gone. Agrius is valuable, especially because they have the super new difficulty, unique quests of the Shinryu rerun. That wasn't really a challenge, so it didn't sell Agrius very well. That's half of the problem. Sometimes the fights just don't sell characters very well. But then
people in chat are saying there's no shame if you're trying to save resources and skip content to save resources. Otherwise, it's a waste to just pull to do. That's fine, guys. Yep. But I know people in the 1 million club who skip banners because they're like, I'm not gonna pull for a character I'm only gonna use once or twice. No, that's unhealthy. We're talking about hoarders here, guys.
Hoarders. Bart's was very good. Bart's age fan. Bart's never really stopped being bad, honestly. Even on his initial Burst Plus, he was very good, and then he kind of just smoothed out into Lufenia Plus, getting even better. Setzer, everyone knew Setzer was broken from the jump. Setzer was very obviously broken. Porum, I think I was just pig-headed about Porum because I didn't want to pull, because I was still coming off. No, that was before my Barret disaster. I just didn't want to pull for some reason. I should have, but I didn't realize how good Brave gain up. Like, that was probably the one thing we didn't realize, how good Brave gain up was, because we were still generally capping on Brave gain.
Right, and that's similar to a lot of garbage time. That's a garbage time trend where usually something comes out like right before Cosmos, people were like, oh, you don't really need Renoa because even though she does a lot of damage, so do Golbez and Kuja, and then she ends up outpacing them with the new difficulty. Same with right before Chaos, there was
people running Brave Arts, not caring about the attack stat.
Oh
all the time. That was a thing. I love these older takes, though, like newer players just have like people didn't run attack. Like it's kind of weird to talk about it. Like these are things that happen. How do you feel about Zac after initial excitement? I honestly haven't used Zac that much because
did they fix his S2 potency?
Oh yeah, that's fixed. It's just okay. I have a hard time fitting Zac in teams because he got more defense. And I've been very offense oriented in my runs, and I am having a harder time putting him in teams than Yuna. So I do some offline runs with Zac still, but he's
get him for the BT coming.
Oh well, right? Obviously yeah. I mean, he is my favorite character, but I just I also don't want to just put him with like Porum or Setzer because that doesn't bring me enjoyment either.
All right.
So I try and then I don't want to just stack burst pluses with them either. I'll do something slightly creative. Go ahead.
Can I? No, I'm going to ask you a very dumb question, if that's okay.
Sure.
If he's your favorite character, why aren't you Black Zac?
Good question. I actually don't have an answer to that.
Okay.
I don't have an answer to that. Would Beatrix fall in that underrated category? Absolutely. Beatrix for sure. Beatrix.
You think she's underrated?
Well, I mean, we didn't not realizing how good she was until after the banner was gone. Beatrix, yeah, Trey for me personally.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was going for, because I was going back to the question that the person asked that said, "Hey, is there garbage time so we can save?" And I was thinking like, well, maybe you can just focus on a few of these like high power ones that last after their banner. And I don't mean good investments, because most characters are good investments. Yeah. They do last a very long amount of time. But the question is could you do content without them? If you could do content without them, then you don't really need to pull. If they're a favorite, you should get them anyway. But that's a whole other thing, right? So if you wanted to save and you wanted to skip most characters, then you probably could do 99 to 100% of content, not pull, and you'd be fine. You'd be able to build your stash for the BT Plus era without a problem.
Yep. 330 C50 meta. Yeah, we've all been there. But Zac does not have attack auras, which is probably why I have the most difficulty running him. Because if I sacrifice Zac, like even like Ace has like brave damage up and attack auras for the party, and Zac has like his 45% and like 20%. So he's good for like defensive, but defenses isn't always even that good. And I personally am not a big fan of defensive teams. So when they leaned more into his offense with his rework, but his utility on his LD leaned defensive. And I have a harder time because I don't know where I'm going with that. It's harder to use them.
I wonder how defense actually even fares in Lufania Plus, because turns are getting tighter, right? Which means they want fights to be shorter. Yeah. So like, you even really want to draw it out, to be honest? Isn't the meta really to just kill it ASAP?
Yeah, that's why I've had a hard time running them just because of that.
So I mean, like, I'm sure defense is good for like newer players who need it and don't have the offensive power, or just to get through just for newer players. Like, people really underestimate that any character is good for newer players. I started a new account recently. You know, having Orin tank gets me through a lot of content that I don't have the firepower for. Right. But I'm saying, like, you know, like, people are like, why does this character suck so much? Not everyone's playing at the Lufania level. That's fucking why. Yeah. And so, like, utility-wise, tanks are great, but I'm saying like meta isn't Lufania plus pushing for offense, like
Yeah.
heavy offense. Yeah.
That's why I end up usually running unit, because battery and the HP damage up auras and stuff. Because usually if I get stumped on a fight, and then sometimes it's just a matter of, oh, did I bring Kurisame's HP damage up call and
Yeah.
damage them
And
down
plus
fast?
the devs know this. They even said on the Ope the BT's coming later because they can split Zac in half and you guys will pull twice.
Oh yeah.
You dum-dums.
Drez, I'm talking about Beatrix after her LD boards. Her LD boards are very, very good. Yeah, Majed, thank you. These units are months apart. People would skip the ones in between, though. Well, I mean, Majed, because we pull frequently in JP, so we're hedged against content, but then some people might hit walls, you know. Kamari, anyone who praises Kamari is getting banned.
Fuck you.
Did Neckler fall asleep? Probably.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that Kamari like genuinely needs is he needs to steal Aiko's horn. That she doesn't deserve it.
Yikes. Only thing weird I found about Orin being a tank is EX delaying for a counter tank seems a bit weird. Yes.
Yeah. But whatever.
You don't have to press the EX.
That's overthinking. That's overthinking the optimization because again, most people aren't optimizing their fucking runs. Like everyone makes mistakes and shit.
Or
no one's gonna play
complement each other well. Oh yeah, they do.
So hey, BC, with considering that defense, we were talking about defense being a like not necessarily a needed thing right now because you need to kill Luke Plus as fast as possible, and it's all about damage. But considering the initial thoughts about Vincent and the fact that attack down ended up being pretty damn useful in a bunch of fights. Do you think that there's maybe some untouched defensive like stuff with and I'm not asking you to like take middle ground or whatever, but there's probably going to be some GL ingenuity of some sort, right? To like try and run high defense comps to like neuter some content, maybe?
Well, the problem again is turn counts. Keep getting hoed by turn counts when I do those strategies. Because you've got to supremely bring the damage. And if you want to lean on your damage that hard, you end up going like burst plus and then blowing the bosses up before they do anything, and then the attack down is only like briefly useful. That's my experience. Maybe so. It's really just the turn counts. Turn counts have definitely started mattering again, and a lot of my recent runs have been cutting it pretty, especially with Yuna. Yuna's damage. I'm starting to feel her age, and if I don't bring the guns, even if I was going defensive, especially because a lot of these bosses are just really nasty. Like the Kadaj bosses, like blow you up, and attack down won't help you there because they do a giant brave gain. So I'm thinking like Shiva instant broke you. At least Warrior of Light is just straight up mitigating damage. So yeah, I can't even think of any recent like attack down characters in JP. Like it doesn't seem like they're really going that route lately.
Oh, I mean, is Beatrix's high defense like notably useful in any of these Luke Plus runs? You've done a bunch of them.
I can't say it has been useful. Cause let's see, I ran it with Garnet, and then I did the Zac run with Beatrix, and I did the boss rush again, which was just normal Lufenia.
You did Transcendence 5 with her.
Yes, I did. I don't know. I can't say for sure.
Yeah, I
Just
mean, I'm not
doesn't
trying to
feel-
necessarily put you on the spot. It's
Oh, yeah,
just,
no.
I'm curious as to whether, like, there's some hidden benefits of defense that we just haven't seen yet.
Well, I think Porum has a lot of defense.
Yeah, she does.
Really?
Yeah, she's got like 70% at least, right? Like that. Let me see.
She's got a lot. What do you all think Farian needs in his LD boards whenever he gets a burst? Whew, that'd be a long list. I don't even know. I don't even know where to get started. The usual special sauce. HP,
Hey,
brave
we are
HP damage
wrong.
up.
She only has 30% defense.
Oh.
Gross. HP damage received minus 70%? That's fucking ridiculous.
Porum's ridiculous.
Yeah, I always had fun with her. I always used her, and then she only falls off because eventually turn counts tighten, basically.
Yep, that's pretty much
Oh,
all
you
I do.
know, one thing that's interesting, and I don't have all the data in front of me. I'll try to find it, but is pretty interesting that they coded the HP damage reduction differently It's coded 2 different ways in the game. So some of it stacks additively, and some of it stacks multiplicatively.
Mhm.
So now, without going into too much math, you could just say if you put Forum and Paladin Cecil on a team, they will do 90% HP damage reduction and basically make it impossible to die. Because 90% reduction means the most they can deal to you is 10k HP damage. So you can't die if both of them are in the party together, assuming that they have got their buffs accordingly up. But if you throw characters like, I think Gabranth, and Gabranth's is like 20% HP damage reduction, I think, and his stacks multiplicatively. So if you throw him with Porum, instead of getting the 90% that Paladin Cecil has, you only get like 76% or whatever. And while that's not necessarily a big deal, it is sort of interesting to be able to become near unkillable with 2 characters that can stack their HP damage differently than others.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of stats, and then you're also fighting for debuff space eventually.
Hey, do you
versus
remember
HP
when-
damage up debuffs that you could be running, or brave damage up debuffs.
Hey, BC,
Yo.
do you remember when Ink said he didn't like math?
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke about that later, after I read some more chat, but he just read out a
But I
bunch of
didn't
numbers that I
find
didn't
that.
listen to.
But you
Damn
just
you.
spewed a bunch of
Damn
numbers.
you.
Both of us tuned out. I'm pretty fucking sure.
Yup.
Like you're like the math interacts differently, and it's
According to my
90%,
calculations.
10k. And then I'm like, when is this ever gonna be useful? Like, when is this gonna save me in a Lupania Plus?
When's the next Hell Lufenia? I think it's Desh's Lost Chapter, personally. That one's really bad.
Oh, because a lot of attacks recasts moving forward, I'm guessing, like pierce the HP mitigation, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good point about John Belmont said this problem with debuff comps even now is reliant on compensating with off-turn damage. Yeah, you got to compensate if you run defensively. You just still need the offense, and that's the problem I've had a lot with Zach personally. Attacking on Medusas was really helpful, absolutely.
Defense is for pussies. Anyone who raids in MMOs knows that it's all about DPS. You bring the tanks who can do the most DPS. You bring the healers that can do the most DPS, because DPS is all that matters at the end of the day. Mitigation is just buying you more time, which is a weakness.
Should
Like,
we
if
start
you
playing?
play-
Oh, good.
Yeah, if you play like MOBAs, if you play like League of Legends, if you play like fucking MMOs,
for
anything,
losers.
damage is all that matters. Damage is all that matters. The team with the most damage is gonna win. Like, that's it. Period. And then, like, you're not a good tank because you can mitigate. Any tank can mitigate. You're a good tank if you can mitigate and do damage. Like Pestle and fucking Zac in his prime.
I'm going to unfortunately mention more numbers. Has anyone
I hate you.
done any calcs in JP as to how much damage per turn you need?
Oh, I never do that.
Because you said turn counts were tight, right? So
Well,
I bet that
it's
if
not
you
necessarily
took
turn
the-
counts are tight. I just might be running low damage units, like Yuna.
Well, sure. That's a you thing, but yeah.
Might not be hitting
Okay.
hard enough. It's all perspective. Turn count's only tight if you're not doing enough damage. If you're blowing things
Ink-
up with multiple
like-
consecutive turns, and it's not necessarily tight.
Ink, I respect your skill, and numbers are important to have. We're just making fun of you because you're denying your true nature. Like, just accept and embrace that you like numbers. Why are you fighting it?
Hold on.
Okay.
Counter can function as a follow-up. Beatrix is 155% defense up and 30% free damage reduction.
I was gonna say, like, even with the tanks, the focus is always on damage, right? Like, it's like, hey, Zac is a tank, but if you play him right and only attack the people who are targeting him, he does a lot more damage. Or, like, even with, like, Orin, it's like, hey, Orin is a tank, but if you play him right, you get off more counters and you do more damage. Like, everything comes back to damage. So stacking defense is just, nobody's gonna do that. Who the fuck shows off their, like, pure defense runs? That's gross.
DPS is important in rating, but dealing with mechanics are bigger. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about damage. Yeah, it'd be like that.
Dealing
Wow.
with the mechanics is big. Yeah, of course. That's the Loof orbs. It's like, take care of the orbs and then kill it as fast as you can, so you don't have to deal with the orbs so much. Like, yeah, like, in the end of the day, those are the things. Like, defense is very unnecessary when you're playing Optimus.
8 debuff slots when? A month and a half. Actually, not that too far out now. I think.
No, it's got to be more, right?
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
It comes with Eldnarsh. Eldnarsh is 5 BT cycles away.
Eldnarsh is after what? Isn't
It
Eldnarsh
goes-
after Garland?
No,
he's
there's
after
Golbez.
Golbez.
There's Golbez and
Oh,
that come before.
I always forget that month. That month is just a blank to me. Oh my god. Okay, yikes. Hey, Golbez. Oh man, Golbez is gonna get slandered. I am so salty about bluing Golbez's armor because he hit the bench immediately. I was so he looked so good, and then I just never used him again. What a disappointment. They need to give him an Imperil aura because it's just stupid. Start
sure
talking about
he'll get it
Cyan.
on
Necklord will
BT
come
slots.
back. No, I think Necklord's just dead. Rushdown is kind of self-fulfilling. You bring a glass cannon team, and you need to go fast. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Crowd control is great on. Yeah, if you're getting attacked, like that's why Warrior of Light was really good for Divine Shiva, because you got attacked, so you needed some sort of defense. But
Yeah.
and that's why I like them pushing back on the boss and making the bosses take their turns back. I actually kind of like that because it does make you respect debuffs or open the ability to be more defensive in the correct context. Also, Warrior Light's LD boards are just really good. That HP damage up is hilariously good. Eldnarsh is in July. Yeah, thanks for correcting me, guys. I just completely forgot about the Divine Alex month. I mean, apparently Inkwelder forgot about it too. Like we were like, wait, who's the next summon? Nobody
Yeah,
remembers that.
I thought it was further out. That's why.
Yeah.
It's Alex and then Panda.
No, it's Alex and then Brothers.
Oh, and then Panda and then Shiva.
Yeah. What's your opinion on Garnet's LD and how Garnet is fantastic. Next call slave should inflict a debuff that makes all incoming attacks ignore defense. Huh. Legend says Golbez crit 95% of the DPS units. Aids like milk. How was Noel after release? Biased review, Noel was awesome. I used him for like 3 months straight. Unbiased review, he's just average. He's got good utility, and they upped his damage to where it should be, but he's not anything special. Tifa definitely gives you no reason to use Noel, because why worry about unbreaking and turn manipulation when you can just murder things with Tifa?
DPS is king, guys.
DPS is king, yes.
It's too bad. It's shifted. It's pretty much shifted away, right? That was probably the beauty of the Chaos era, because tanks were really important and were very good.
Yeah. Now they're just to the point where some tanks could just completely trivialize things sometimes.
Yeah, like tanks is making things require tanks and healing is just not a great.
Like you could just laugh off fights with Warrior of Light and Zac.
Yeah.
Like Zac trivialized a lot, because if they didn't blow you up necessarily, then you could just Zac.
Yeah, for people in chat who are talking about, oh, Bosch was a great defensive only tank. Well, that's because he let you bring the most bullshit DPS, because you didn't have to worry about mechanics anymore. Like, you still had to carry his DPS. He wasn't carrying the team. He just let you
just sitting there.
I was impressed with how much Bosch gets from his LD board.
I'm not
Quite.
Ugh. I know Tifa does more damage, but is there content in that she can do that Noel can't? No. It's no. Tifa is pretty much always a better option. Always. And I love Noel, but Tifa's pretty much always a better option. Would a tank that specializes in launch comps be a good idea? For the state of the game, hell no, because that sounds like
doesn't make any sense.
That sounds like a nightmare for balancing.
That doesn't even make any sense. Like, why
I'm
would
scared.
you want to launch and take hits at the same time? Like, when is there ever a situation where you're like, hey, let me delay the enemy as much as possible, mitigate their turn so I can do launch?
Whoa. What do you? What does delay have to do with launch?
Oh, no, because you want the enemy to take as few turns as possible so you can line up a perfect launch, right?
Good point.
Yeah, and so why would you want to do that, yet encourage taking damage? It's like counters, right? Like, tanks are like counters. They want to get hit as much as possible. That's where all their utility comes from. You can't do that and launch at the same time. That's fucking stupid. Also, I realized a lot of the biggest, fattest tanks are the ones giving the biggest, fattest attack auras, like Gladio. Oh, guys, Gladio's defensive. Well, dude, he gets
Gladio
a
doesn't
70.
give a ton of attack ores, does he?
No, he
70%. 70% attack ore,
I
isn't
thought it was
it?
less than that.
That's not it. That's not that much anymore.
Oh, but I mean, for when it was, dude.
Oh,
it was
well,
one of
yeah.
the biggest
Sure.
ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
He,
exactly.
He had more than just about everybody.
Yes.
He
Exactly.
He has debuffs. He has auras. He's got
Yeah,
everything.
he had a lot. I like the sentiment of why pull if they're just DPS has died down a bit. Yeah, it was always a dumb take because you want to kill things. you can't just dick around and not kill the boss. You need to do some damage. And it was never consistent either because it was like, oh, just a damage dealer, unless it was a damage dealer that got hyped, and it's like, oh, they're a good damage dealer. Like yeah, like, well, I mean, Squall got way too much hate on his initial LD release because he still did a crap ton of damage when he released. I mean, it was fine for.
He's
a
also
months.
the best option. A lot of people didn't do those early fucking. No, it was still chaos back then, right? A lot of people didn't do those challenge quests and some of those chaoses like airship and shit without him because he was just really good for his era. But the general player thinks it's bad to have a character stomp for like only quote unquote only 2 or 3 weeks. Like that's bad value.
Even then, Squall went way farther than that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like people just hate that shit. I don't want to name names because they're active members, but I've seen in our fucking Discords people were like, I'm not gonna pull on a character I'm only gonna use for 2 weeks, and it's like, well, what the fuck are you gonna pull on then? Like only broken ass characters?
Yeah, because
like,
then your roster ends up having holes in it. Because Ignis is a great example of this. Because Ignis has been cropping back up.
That person that I mentioned doesn't even do all content because they don't want to pull on characters that are only useful for like 2 or 3 fights in their opinion, which is just like, I don't know.
Especially with the added utility of having calls for characters now, and the people crop back up, they can contribute not necessarily being in the party, or in the case of Ignis, who was very valuable in Vivi's Lufenia, or and now for Divine Shiva, either as a call or as a main party unit, then he's just stuff like that. Sometimes those holes in your roster can come back and be very valuable. Like Trey too, for example. Trey I've gotten a ton of use out of in JP. I used him. He was essential for my Aranea Lufenia Plus run, and he was very good in Transcendence 4 as well. Stuff like that, that's why we always say like have a varied roster. Like it's good to have multiple options, because then that feeling of I'm stuck, I have to pull, and you feel like an asshole instead of just doing something cool potentially earlier on.
And I think Ink was talking about Celeste earlier and I missed it, but like Celeste is someone that's not paying off for me now, but I know that I've seen like there are fights in the future when she's gone, right? That like she's really really good at.
Oh, she's about to prosper for the Y'shtola burst cycle. Oh, she's godly in all 3 of those fights.
And I think one of the later Transcendences has like a nut that's like pure magic damage.
It's a trap. Yeah, no, it's the left node of Transcendence 5 is a trap orb.
Yeah, like so
there.
like there are investments that pay off later that a lot of people ignore just because they're not like
just immediately, and then you can use them, but then they can provide insane dividends down the line. That's kind of the point. You're supposed to
Lightning right now for Eldnarsh, right? I mean, obviously everyone pulled, but the point is like ancient characters can come back.
Yep, always happens.
Yeah, and she's not here like all of a sudden because of her LD board. That isn't what did it. that was not an update, but hey, so I forgot who asked in chat. Oh, Drez asked what each of our top 3 waifus is.
You serious?
Yeah, let's limit it 1 per game, so you can't just say like Tifa, Aerith, and Yuffie.
Damn it.
Okay, go.
Yuna. Does it have to be Final Fantasy?
Gross. Yeah, is it?
I mean, they didn't.
I assume it's Final
waifus.
Fantasy. If we're going beyond Final Fantasy, then it would be Eito from Tokyo Ghoul, the green hair one, and then also C2 from Code Geass, also who has green hair.
How is Terra not one of your waifus if you're a green hair dude?
She has blonde hair.
Yeah,
Are you
dude.
blind?
Yeah, dude, play Dissidia, dude. She's got blonde hair.
Yeah, play a Final Fantasy game. You call yourself an FF6 fan?
This loser.
Oh god.
The don't pull Warrior Light if you want Gladio was goofy too. That was very goofy.
Yeah.
Yepper.
This is.
I'm tired of
If-
people saying you don't need this character if you have this character. We just mentioned earlier people were saying that about Aranea and Lightning, and then it's like with the tanks too. It was like you don't need Bosch because Gladio's coming in 2 fucking months, or you don't need Warrior of Light. Like they're like, why pull Warrior 9 if you're gonna pull Warrior of Light? It's like these people function differently. Jesus
9 does so
Christ.
much more damage than Warrior Light. I mean,
Like-
Jesus. People
Yeah.
ran full support counts for Chaos to skip damage dealers, and then we can lift any camps that can't be content.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
We're talking waifus. Mino is obviously Clown Junko.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I mean, So if it's from. Oh, go ahead, Nino. You can go next.
No. I got nothing. I don't even like the question. You go. I'll think of
The
something.
Kais meme. Even if you pull on units that get used for a long time, you'll still need new characters to go alongside them. Thank you. Thank you. That Wonders of Kais thing was so stupid. And there weren't. How many people kept running Kais? And remember how hyped up Eldnarsh was on his event?
Yes. I told him because of his hype.
Hey
and
guys, it's used in Lufenia! Who wanted to use him though? Crickets.
So boring. My top 3 is hard because so Celeste is number 1 overall. There's no one even close. Then there's like a ton of characters that I all just universally like, and I can't decide between Tifa or Aerith, and then Yuna and Quistis. So it's those are my 5, I guess. I
5.
can't
Holy
really-
shit. Okay, do 6. Do it for me, because I can't think of anything. I don't want to answer the question. Do we say FF? I don't even fucking know.
They didn't say FF. I did FF. BC didn't, which it's good because waifus generally overlap unless you're someone in our Patreon chat posted like their tier list, and it was their tier list based on who they like, and they had Sync as their number 1, and then 7 was like F, and I was like, dude, what the fuck did 7 do to you? Why do you like Sync so much that she's alone in the top? I never played Type 0. But like, is 7 that bad of a character that she belongs in the F tier with friggin' Kamari? Like, it doesn't seems unfair.
7? I don't. Yeah, I never played Type 0 either.
Type 0 sucks.
Yeah,
Heard.
and I'm with
Everyone's
Infamous-
like, it's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm with Infamous Element that says in chat 9 is pretty cool, but I hate his crab walk stance. It's awful. Dude needs to take a dump.
That tier list was funny to read. Who's tier list?
Yeah, not available is one of our Patreons, so he knew.
Okay.
But I'll pull it up. It's pretty funny.
Oh, it is 9:52. We can start spinning down.
So, Ash was at the bottom with the spoiled bitch tier.
Yikes.
Wow. This is aggressively misogynist.
Spite.
Sync is at the top, labeled "woke up and chose violence" tier.
What does that even mean for the ratings, though?
I don't know. She's at the top though,
That's
and then Jack is second in the second tier, alone with Mikita.
Woke up and chose violence tier. I love it. I love it.
Like,
Yeah.
is that good or bad? I don't even know.
It's funny.
Yeah, I don't trust this person because they have Edward in the S tier
Oh.
next to like Selfie and
They're a
Beatrix
liar.
and
Nobody
Agrius and
likes Edward.
Celeste and
I
Tifa.
don't like Selfie
like-
either.
I like
look
Salty.
at Shara. Remember?
I said what I
Shara?
said.
Sure. Yeah, it's a funny tier list, and there's way too many characters in here. I don't know why Renoa is in between C and D in a tier of her by herself, and it's labeled Ohado. I don't know what that means.
Is that one of? Oh, is that one of her? Yeah, her voice lines. Is that the Ohalo? That she does a play on that.
Oh,
I don't understand shit posters. I hate them, but I'm guessing that's probably
Yeah. Eight is in his own tier, and it says Squex doesn't want to board you. But yeah, it's funny. Funny.
You guys think he'll come back strong with his boards?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll post I'll post this in the chat if anyone feels like looking at this random tier list that someone made that has nothing to do with viability.
I think I've convinced myself to pull.
You?
Yeah, Sabin.
Yeah.
Personally?
Yes, because I like Aranea, and then I pitied her EX and never used her.
What an idiot.
Right? It's fucking stupid.
Gotta wait for the LC when it's a double LD banner.
Don't screw
with
that.
Prompto.
I just straight up don't like Prompto.
He has a rocket launcher. So.
Oh, guys, did you know Aranea's LD hasn't rerun back to date? I learned that in one of the evaluation videos that I watched. So if you want her LD, you're going to have to get it now. It never comes back, apparently. Not even on her lost chapter.
Really? Someone said that?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Who said that? Where?
I'm not naming names.
No, wait. Where was it said?
It was on one of the Aranea overview videos.
Oh.
That's,
yeah.
That's
yeah.
funny.
I mean, the videos are bad enough. I'm not going to read the comments.
That's impressive.
Oh no. I left my game open on the home screen too long and Edward popped up.
Oh, guess you gotta reinstall the game.
I really wish I could dismiss him from my roster now that I...
You coulda. We told you to. You pussied out. We said, just don't even do the event. Like, don't even unlock him. and you didn't do it. We gave you an out.
Aranea character boards. What a time to be alive. Okay, I think we can start.
It's about time.
Yeah.
Start wrapping up.
Yes. So, in conclusion, I don't know. Good luck on your polls with RNA, everybody. What the hell did we talk about? I hope Endel and Lard. Shout out to him. He did the timestamps for the last video. That was very helpful. I was running around cooking this whole time, so I didn't take any notes.
That was a lot of cooking you just did.
Yeah.
I was cooking rice, spinach, food. Gotta eat. If you're watching this right now, you're still in the chat. Please, I think we almost hit like 200 viewers, concurrent viewers at once. That was crazy. Like the video, guys, because you guys like these, and I like doing them. It's been fun. Thank you, Ink and Mino, again for shooting the shit on a Wednesday evening. In conclusion, always poll. Agreed. I wish Dreamy did Hyde and Edward in Aranea's infographic.
Yeah.
Well, you should keep doing that as a running gag. Honestly,
it's pretty funny.
Did it not?
I would
happen?
rather hide Cypher or somebody else, just not him.
I think you guys should have a running gag of hiding something, like the Tom Berry. No, I was gonna say the Tom Berry Troop logo, but that's on every infographic, anyways.
Yeah, no, it would be funny, but I feel like it has to be on theme. Like for Aranea's infographic, we should have hid Prompto somewhere. Like that would be cool. I don't support throwing random FF characters on a graphic. And yeah, I'm gonna have to thoroughly review the Sabin LD banner graphic to make sure nothing is hidden, because if there's an Edward on the Sabin graphic, I would be
then it'd be my birthday.
Furious.
Perfect.
I would be so fucking furious.
Hey, wait, did Kane LD come out?
It should be like a week and a half.
Okay, so still a while.
No, 2 weeks ish. I don't know.
Looking forward to it.
At most 2 weeks.
Can't wait.
Okay.
It better be good.
I
Because
hope
this
it's good,
guy's
too.
been fucked over like 2 eras in a row.
Because I'll
His
totally pull for
his
Kane.
EX sucked and his EX Plus sucked. And he's gotten so many reworks, like more reworks than most characters.
Guess
Like
they
Jesus
gave up
Christ.
and didn't decide to rework them this time.
How many times do you have to rework a fucking character to? Oh my god! Like, come on, give him a win. Give him a win.
No.
Sabin got a win this era.
Oh yeah.
Jack-
Sabin's awesome.
Jack got a BT, so that's like an easy win. So come on, Kane, get a win.
Fingers
If
crossed for
nothing
Kane
else,
attacks.
Yang came out pretty strong. Although I did like his EX Plus on release. I actually used him for like a month and a half on EX Plus. I thought it was pretty damn decent.
He's not getting
Pumping,
on this time, Jed. Okay, yeah, I think we're done here. You guys ready to close it
All
out?
right. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, good
Thanks,
stuff.
chat.
Thanks for
Good luck on your polls. Aranea event starts in exactly 1 minute. I'm gonna take a poll on Aranea. Probably 300 max. Hopefully I get her. Good luck on your polls, everyone. And catch you later.